Which of these companies would you trust more? Company A that has all of their information on Google. You can easily Google their name, find out who the CEO is, find out where they are in terms of maps, see the reviews that they have for the company. Or company B, the company that you have to go to their social media page, click on their link, go into their bio to find out who they are, what they do, and why they're even here. Obviously, company A. And so the reason this is important is because company A utilized something that's called SEO, that's search engine optimization. And the reason why this is important even today in 2026 is because companies that are able to find and utilize Google platforms and other search engines so that you can find them are getting what's called organic traffic. Organic traffic is traffic that just naturally flows into your environment. So that way people can become interested in what you sell and what you do. And then from that, hopefully convert and then buy. The largest companies, the largest of companies, continue to do this. It is not a dead concept. It is not something that has gone away. If anything, with the advent of AI, it will continue to grow, become better, and become even more prominent as people look to their AI agents to ask them advice on what tools, what products, what services they can use to better their businesses and better themselves. And all of these AI agents are operating off of SEO. It's also known as AEO, but regardless, they're using the search engines that already exist in order to get companies found. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chris Parks. I'm the owner of CP Digital Studio. We build websites for companies, and in addition to that, we help them get organic traffic to their websites through what's called technical SEO. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about why SEO matters, why it is still important today, so that way you can make your business even better. And so SEO at the end of the day is about verification, credibility, and digital trust. It is quite literally the way that businesses operate in order to verify that they are who they say they are online. And you've seen this in many different examples. I'm not going to show you because you can go online and see it. But for companies that are reputable, you are easily able to find them on Google, their name, their email, their phone number, their hours of business. All of this is easily accessible on the website or the search engine that you're using. And this is not magic. This is just what many would consider a core fundamental principle of business. SEO is what I would call the foundation of any business because, in addition to obviously having your websites, having your products and your services available, after all of that comes the SEO because you want to have organic traffic coming into your site so that way you are not continuously relying on ads and other means of cold marketing like reaching out to people one on one, door to door sales, or even cold emails as a means of getting business. And so it comes down to a very simple thing, and this is what the concept of SEO is built on. Are people more likely to trust a business they can find? Yes or no? Are they more likely to trust a business they can find, or are they less likely? Do you think you will convert more people in your business if they can easily find you on Google? Or do you think that them finding your social media is the best way for you to operate in your business? Not that anything is wrong with social media, but just from your perspective, which of these two scenarios do you think is more likely for people to convert? And so what we have in modern, what I would call modern day business is really two different avatars. We have the digital ghost. These are businesses that mostly operate without a website and use the social media platforms as a way of doing business. This is not a bad thing, especially if you're just starting out. But at some point, you do want to progress because these digital ghosts or these digital platforms all have a similar thing in common. They all have social media personalities or people who are running their business that are usually likable. These are very good. This is a very good quality to have in a business. But their presence online is rooted solely in the social media. And if you look closely, 9 times out of 10, their personal social media and the business social media will be one and the same. And so what you get is a lot of good reels, a lot of good content, a lot of good things that make you interested. And then when it comes to actually making a purchase or making a business decision, you usually have something in the form of a link tree that goes to a cash app or contact me directly for a service or product. And that just, especially in today's day and age with AI and different scammers that are online, becomes very ugh. Versus what you have in the credible anchor, what I would call the credible anchor, is someone, any business, doesn't matter how big or small, that has a solid website showing their services, their reviews, their professional work. These are the types of clients where you can go to Google, type in their name, and you can easily see this is who they are, this is where they are, this is their website, and social media platforms all decorated in a very simple box that you can easily understand and navigate. And the reason Google created that level of a platform is so that way people can easily find out who you are within a short amount of time, right? And so the search test is very, very real. When someone hears about you, whether it's on social media or whether it's in person or whether it's online, they want to find out who you are immediately. The first test they usually do, full transparency, usually involves doing a social media check. Most of us on social media doing our, social media things, and we usually can find you through social media. After that, because social media sites can only do so much, business profiles can only do so much, they usually try to make sure that you have your business profile or your website. If your website usually is not linked in your bio, it is very, very difficult for people to find you, because then now they have to go through all the work of actually typing in your information online, and nobody wants to do that. Much, much easier to be able to find your information online. But wait, if you don't have a website and you don't have a way for people to find you, that becomes very, very challenging. Now you have to rely on Cash App and Venmo as a way to accept payments for your services, because you have no other way of accepting and receiving payments. Visibility is your first handshake. And I would say this as well: your website is your representation of you. It is your, quite literally, your digital platform by which you can tell the world about who you are, what you do, and why they should trust you. If none of these things exist on your website, you have a very, very bad product that is not going to be able to convert anyone, because it does not give anyone the level of trust that they should trust you. There is something called a snap judgment when it comes to today's marketing, I would say. This concept is not new, but it's been heightened due to technology, AI, and our overall lack of attention span. You have 0.05 seconds to convince someone that you are worthy of their time. My wife is notorious for this. My wife will look at your website for less than that time and figure out whether or not you're worth trusting or not. It's a really interesting phenomenon. And so most of us, me and my wife included, take about 0.05 seconds to figure out whether or not you are actually a good website, a good person, or a good business by which we can do business with you. If your website takes less or more time than that to load, that's never a good sign. If your website takes longer to load your pictures within that time, that's never a good sign. And so SEO exists to help with these snap judgments, and making websites in general a good website helps people get over these snap judgments, because if you can convince them within zero point 0.5 seconds that you know what you're talking about, you are trustworthy, you have been doing this for some time, and you have reviews, you are able to overcome that trust hurdle a lot easier, and then again continue to work on your business and convert and make more money for yourself. But it only takes 0.05 seconds. That's how much time you have. It's not a long period of time at all. And so you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And so you want to definitely make sure that your first impression for your website, for the way that people view you, both your website and your social media, are all aligned, all clean, all taken care of, and all dedicated to what you do for business, because you do not get a second chance to impress someone. And so there are really three pillars, I would say, to your visibility. Um, or really your when it comes to SEO, visibility is obviously the number one thing. There are things called rankings on Google, and if you work with us, we'll go into this in more detail. But in short, visibility plays a big part, not just in terms of your website ranking high on Google, but also where your website ranks in terms of Meta and Instagram, Facebook, things of that nature. You must be reputable. You must post on a regular basis. There's no way to get out of doing your business by not. I mean, there is a way to get out of doing business without showing your face. But usually, when you are showing your face, the algorithm rewards you just a lot more. The truth is, if you're not in the top results, you won't exist to 90% of searchers, especially when it comes to searching on Google, on search engines like Google or Bing or Firefox or whichever one you prefer. Um, your website, along with your social media and digital presence, offers people, it offers you credibility. It gives people a chance to tell that you are who you say you are, not just because of what you do, but also because of the quite literal social interaction, where people are able to go to their comments of your videos and see people that are happy, that are in love with your product, that are really, really, giving you great reviews. That affects people. That affects their choices. And so all of these digital platforms are ways in which you increase your visibility. And from that visibility and that credibility, you build trust. And so 99.5% of shoppers search and do research online first. They're not usually going to your business if you have a brick and mortar business and pulling up to the front of your business and saying, "Do I like this place?" They usually go to maps and then click on it to drag and see, "Okay, this business looks legitimate. It's in a nice area. I'm going to check the reviews." They go through a whole process and a checklist in their mind that is all based on search engines, whether it's Google or Bing or what have you. And so you can start to get the idea and the concept I'm trying to give to you. This is important. If you don't have these levels of trust, if you don't have this credibility within your business, it's much harder to attract the larger talent, the larger sharks, the larger whales that you want to attract for your business, the big people that have a lot of money, the ideal clients for your business. It's harder to do that if you're not giving them the level of visibility, credibility, and trust that they think that you should have based on your business. And so this is a literal curve that you can see. When people first start to discover you, they're at the bottom of this tier. They're slowly but surely, as they go through the discovery phase, verifying that you are who you say you are, which is important because in today's AI world and today's scamming and phishing and spamming attempts, it's a lot. And so it's important that people verify that you are who they say that you are. And then from that, as you build more trust, that trust begins to lead into greater action. Actions such as just reaching out to contact you to see what is it that you offer. You've convinced me at this point that I should contact you. I'm interested, and now I want to do business with you. Or the much better result that all of us are looking for as business owners is getting that level of trust and then going into action in terms of monetary value, transitioning from customers' dollars into services or a product. And so the question is, well, Chris, why is some of this important? You've explained that, but what do we do next? The next thing, if you do not have one, is to examine your website. Your website is your verification tool. It is your badge to get onto the military base. It is it's the way that people can tell who you are. It tells your story, your work ethic, your social proof, your accessibility, how easily people can view you and see you online. Whether or not you are a human that is easily reachable via a phone number, or if it's going to take some time to get to you. All of these things are important, and the website verifies all of these things within a few seconds for your clients. And the website, of course, especially when done right, allows for people to find you easier on Google because of the algorithms that Google implements, and allows for you to show your portfolios, your background, your mission, and your reviews all in one place. It is significantly better to be findable than to be famous. And what I mean by that is, and I mean social media famous, not famous. But on social media platforms, we have this allure that because someone has a lot of followers and because someone has a lot of content that they posted, that they are good business owners. We have a belief that if someone has a lot of followers, that they are easily findable online. And a part of that is true. But for smaller businesses that do not have that visibility, a lot of us think that we must become famous in order to operate our business, and this is not true. When it comes to the people that are really, really talented at social media and content creation, you cannot compete with them. You may not have the personality for it, and that's okay. But what you can do is work your website, work your social media content to the point that you become findable through the different algorithms that exist on Google, on Meta, and other search engines, and platforms. So that way people, even if you are not the most articulate in words, even if you are not the most savvy when it comes to content creation, even if you're not the most interesting, if people are able to find you, you are more likely to do business with other people simply because they can find you. And so SEO is built, search engine optimization is built on this concept that if people can find you, you will get more leads, and from more leads, you can convert and get more business. They can find you authentically through social media and through your website. They can find you professionally through, again, your website, and they can find you locally. If all of these things are true, you will pop up more in the algorithm. If you pop up more in the algorithm, you are easily, assuming that your content is good and your website looks good, you will gain more traction and gain more business. So there's a very real credibility gap here. If people cannot verify you, they can't trust you. And 81% of businesses, people that are able to verify their businesses are 81% or above more likely to do business with you. But if they can't find you, or your content is bad and you don't look good online and your digital presence is not where it should be, they're very, very unlikely to do business with you. So, if any of this made sense and you're wondering, how do I get started on actually becoming findable online, and how do I actually begin to get organic traffic to my business as opposed to continuously running ads and continuously doing cold outreach and doing door to door, get in touch with me. You can go to my website, cpdigitalstudio.com. My information and link is in the description. You can email me or call me, and we can get started on making sure that your website, your content is findable, so that way people can begin to trust you, and from that, begin to make decisions for and about the business that relate to you. All right? That's it. All that I have for now. Bye-bye.